So first off, I just want to say that my review of ROH Death Before Dishonor 2022 will be a little bit late. I've got work commitments on the weekend, so I probably won't get a chance to watch it until about Monday, Tuesday. It'll be around that time. It'll be out. There will be hopefully be a new WrestleCrate video out that week as well. And housekeeping out of the way, let's talk about one of the most promising shows of 2022. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about ROH Death Before Dishonor 2022, my first ever preview. It's going to be a bit like predictions. I'm going to sort of run down the card, let you know my thoughts on everything, thought on the show itself, preview the card. How about that? Because, you know, I like talking about wrestling, and I like previewing things to myself, because I don't have anyone to talk to about these things. It's so sad. But let's just talk about the card, shall we? Death Before Dishonor 2022 is shaping up to be one of the biggest shows of the year, just by quality of matches alone. There are a total of 7 matches, I do believe, on this card. It's quite a lean show. One of those is on the pre-show, so it's really giving me vibes of sort of the old NXT takeovers, which I love, because they are some of the best wrestling shows ever put to screen. So the first match I'm going to talk about is Willow Nightingale versus Alison Kay, which will be on the pre-show. Now, I'm not too familiar with Alison Kay, if I'm even pronouncing her written name right. I'm assuming so. But Willow Nightingale, I think, is fabulous. She had a really good showing on AEW this week, and she's so wholesome. Willow Nightingale is one of the most wholesome wrestlers out there. A believable babyface who you just want to see succeed. And she's great in the ring as well. So I'm hoping that these two will have a really great match to kick off the show. I think it should be great. The next match we'll talk about is The Righteous taking on Dalton Castle and the boys for the ROH 6-man championships. So 6-man championships is something we'd assumed we'd be getting in AEW. However, to fill that void, we now have the ROH 6-man tag team titles. I'm not going to be too familiar with the lineage of this. Last I saw, I think the 6-person tag team championships were on Shane Taylor Promotions last time I watched Ring of Honor. So obviously stuff's changed since then. Again, Dalton Castle's great. I'm not too familiar with The Righteous, but I think this will be a fun match. I think it will be exciting. This will probably open the show, in my opinion, and I think it might be could potentially steal the show if Dalton Castle's given enough time. And my crux of this is on Dalton Castle, because he's the guy I know most out of the entire group. Okay, so the next match I'm going to talk about has a little bit of AEW flavour. We've got Blackpool Combat Club taking on the Jericho Appreciation Society as Wheeler Yuta takes on Daniel Garcia for the ROH Pure Championship. Now, I'm assuming this will be contested under Pure rules. Always fun. These two, from what I've heard, had an absolute banger. I think Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, PWG, I think they had like a really intense physical match. So my hopes are very high for this. I love Pure Wrestling. I love it in every sort of form. I loved it when Gresham was champion. I love that Chris Ridgway is the Pure Championship for Wrestle Carnival at the moment here in the UK. So I love Pure Wrestling, love Pure Rules. It really, really gets me going. Don't ask me why, but I really love it. And Wheeler Yuta is one of the breakout stars of the year. Of course, his match with Mox was fantastic. His match on this week's Dynamite with Mox as his partner was also great. He's put on a lot of great matches, and Daniel Garcia is probably one of the more underrated workers in AEW, because he's in a group that is so inherently silly in the Jericho Appreciation Society that he's sort of a bit underrated. You don't get to see him as much as you did before he was in that group. So it'd be great to see him in sort of a one-on-one context here on the ROH show. And this could potentially steal the show. I might say that about every match though, so we'll see. Next match we're going to talk about is Mercedes Martinez taking on Serena Deeb for the ROH Women's Championship. In my opinion, I think the build for this has been okay. I also think the belt should go to Serena Deeb. I think Deeb has done enough great work during her time in AEW that she's earned this. She's earned a title. She's earned a championship. And Mercedes Martinez, she's not doing much on sort of Dynamite or anything like that, or anything extremely dynamic, but I think the professor of pro wrestling, Serena Deeb, would work wonders with an ROH belt, because the pure wrestling rules and sort of the code of honor and everything, I think would fit her character so much more than Mercedes Martinez. As much as I love Mercedes Martinez, but Serena Deeb, for me, I think is going to win this. And also, I think this is just going to be a great match. This could be one of the best women's matches of the year, if not one of the best matches of the year, if it's given time, which I'm assuming it will. This, to me, screams 2.5 to 3 hour show, where each match will probably get about 20 minutes, roughly. So I'm very excited to see what these two women do. Should be a barn burner. And next up, we've got Samoa Joe taking on Jay Lethal for the ROH Television Championship. Joe, of course, won that from Minoru Suzuki. This feud has really, really cooled off. You had the addition of Satnam Singh on AEW. You've just had Jay Lethal cutting promo after promo after promo after promo on Joe, and no sign of Joe because of the injury. But see, that's kind of dampened my excitement for this match in particular, because the build hasn't been that great. It's just been a train of promos. But I think this should be great. It should be really great. You've got two ROH sort of pillars of ROH and pillars of TNA as well, because of course they were both in TNA. And I think, yeah, this just should be great. I think Joe's going to come out on top. I wouldn't be surprised with this one if maybe the reason for all the trash talking and stuff is that Joe might just come out and squash Jay Lethal, which I think could also work. I think that could be fun. But we will see about that. This match, but the match against Adam Cole with Samoa Joe wasn't that great at Double or Nothing. So yeah, bit torn on this one. Bit like Natalie Imbruglia. Nothing's fine, I'm torn on this match. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see with this one. Now let's talk about the Ring of Honor World Championship match. Claudio Castagnoli taking on Jonathan Gresham. This match I am insanely hyped for. This is my second most anticipated match on the card. I didn't realise how much I wanted it until I saw Rampage with Claudio and Gresham sort of staring each other down. I can't wait. I can't wait for this. I think the mix of strikes from Claudio and the technical wrestling of Gresham is just going to be perfect. It's going to be like the Zack Sabre Jr. match, but probably on a different scale, because Gresham sort of got those fast bursts of power as well that you don't really expect from him. You see a lot of it during his time as champion in Progress. And it's just going to be sick. It's going to be so good. And I have a feeling that Claudio's walking out with the Ring of Honor Championship, and I think he might be featured more prominently on Ring of Honor than AEW, mainly because I just feel like his aesthetic with the Blackpool Combat Club's still a bit iffy, because he's very happy-go-lucky from just with his music and his bright attire and stuff like that. So I think he might be more of a focal point of Ring of Honor going forward, which I'll touch on at the end as well. But yeah, so excited for this. I think this will be great. And finally, let's talk about FTR versus the Briscoes 2 for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. This is also a 2 out of 3 falls match. This has potential to be, and it might be hyperbole to say this, but I'm just going to go with it, the greatest tag team match of all time. Now for me, and every match that I've seen, the greatest tag team match for me personally, well, you've got two, which is why it's very difficult. You've got TLC 2, the WrestleMania X7, and you've got Kenny Omega and Hangman Page taking on the Young Bucks. Two completely different matches with great tag team dynamics and great stories and everything like that. But FTR versus the Briscoes 1 was an insanely special match that I loved. I absolutely adore that match. It's on my top 10 matches of the year. And the fact that they're going at it again, only with a 2 out of 3 fall stipulation, has me so excited, because I honestly cannot wait to see what these guys do in the ring. The storytelling that they can bring to this, the styles. This is probably going to go long, but I don't care. I really don't care. I just can't wait to see whatever these guys put together. FTR will be walking out with the gold. That is pretty much a given. And that's not going to take away from my enjoyment of the match, because this is all the build to get FTR to the AEW Tag Team Championships. Surely. I just cannot wait to see what these guys do. And I've said that a lot. But yeah, that's the card. The card is massively stacked. I think this has potential to be the best show of the year. Off the top of my head, I can't think of what the best show of the year is. I'd have to go back and look at what has happened this year. But this, honestly, could be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And my prediction here, I would assume, just because of all the prominence that ROH is getting on WWE TV, I think we should be having a TV deal announced here. Don't know who that's with. Maybe it's with Fight. Maybe it's with, Time Warner, same channel stations that air. God, I'm blanking. AEW. There we go. But I feel like some announcement is going to be made about a TV deal. They've done all the new aesthetics. They've done all the new marketing, the branding and everything. It seems like it's ready to go, like a ready-to-go package. So we will see. We will see if we get a TV deal. And I want to know your thoughts on ROH Death Before Dishonor down in the comments below. Are you excited for the show? Let me know. Just let me know anything you'd want about this show, and I'll reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.